I'm Merrick D'Amato,
And I'm Classic Gamer.
and welcome back to Let's Play Discworld Noir on the PC.
Indeed, indeed is.
First off, we're gonna want to go to our old stomping grounds, the Cafe Anne.
And just so everyone knows, if you haven't already seen, I'm playing this on this occasion. So we have to go into the car.
Talk to Samael.
I'd always respected Samael, and he'd always put up with me. I don't know why. I guess it didn't really matter. Taking a break, Samael?
Oh yes. It's not easy working the piano all night.
Well, I'm sure you deserve it.
Thank you, Mr. Luton.
You don't have to call me Mr. Samael. We're old friends.
Sure thing, Mr. Luton. Old friends. I reckon I've earned a right to call you Mister.
As long as that's what you want.
Ask him about wine barrels. Up.
Do you know anything about the crate belonging to the von Uberwalds that was on the Milka?
Sorry, Mr. Luton, I don't know.
One one.
Apparently, some of the cargo on the Milka was delivered here.
That's right. The Milka always brings us a supply of amphibian wine.
Where is it now?
Most of it is still in the wine cellar. We sell some of it on.
Who to?
Lots of different people. I have a box of receipts in the cellar if you're interested.
Sure.
I'll give you the key.
Awesome. Go back outside and head to the side alley. Use the key on the wine cellar, obviously. You've probably worked that thing out yourself.
Yep.
Years ago, it would have been my dream to stand in the Café Ank's wine cellar. So many barrels of fine wine. Even Chateau Hector, Year of the Weevil. My favorite vintage. I used to dream of Ilsa, too, from time to time. So when I walked in to find Ilsa there, I had to check I wasn't wearing my pajamas.
Examine the box of receipts first.
Just like Samael had told me, there was a box of receipts in the cellar.
Use it.
I rooted carefully through the receipts, and the only recent purchaser was the patrician.
Oh dear.
It seems he'd bought a number of barrels of fine wine to take to the palace. I guess the golem I'd seen at the cafe was owned by Lord Veterinary. Two
Speak to
Conkers
this
wasn't looking so good.
Oh, it's two copies.
Frankly, he was lucky to be alive. My ex-lover Ilsa and her companion Two Conkers were hiding out from the Assassin's Guild in the wine cellar.
Talk to Ilsa.
Hello again, Ilsa. I can see I'm going to have to get used to finding you where I least expect. You didn't say goodbye at the casino. What happened to you?
We got away, thanks to you.
It was nothing.
It wasn't nothing. You saved our lives, Luton.
Lulu, is that you?
What's up with him?
He's delirious. He's been injured.
Let me have a look at his wound.
He'll be fine. He needs a chance to rest, that's all. He fades in and out a little, but he'll be okay.
What happened?
It was Remora. He's been following us. He won't quit.
He's an assassin. It's his job. Once they've been paid, the target is as good as dead. They never renege on a contract. They throw great soirees as well, and if they invite you, they won't take no for an answer.
That's not much comfort.
Well, at least you know if an assassin kills you, you're not going to be killed by some thug. They're very efficient at it. Practice makes perfect, you might say. I was going to be an assassin once.
What happened?
The usual. Forces outside my control.
It is you, from Casino. You save our life. We to be in your debt.
I guess you to be just that.
We need your help, Luton.
Haven't I done enough for you?
I know it's a lot to ask after what happened.
Women. It's never enough for you, is it?
Please, you have to find us somewhere safe to hide.
Why? Why should I do that for you? Why should I do anything for you?
Not for what happened, Luton. For what we had. Once.
We had a dream. Trouble is, I woke up and I could still remember it.
You want to ask about the Varberg crates. Varberg crates.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I'm
Oh.
trying to track some of the cargo on the Milka. A set of crates that were supposed to belong to a Varberg.
That's me, Ilsa Varberg.
You never told me your name was Varberg.
Names weren't that important to us back then, if you remember.
I guess not. So the crates are yours?
Mine and two conkers, yes. They should be at the Guild of Archaeologists by now.
What was in them?
Artifacts from the dig in Sorta. Nothing valuable except in the historical sense.
I need to get to them.
I can get you into the guild if you want, but it'll cost you.
What do you want?
Find us somewhere safe to hide two conkers. He's not safe while Remora is looking for him.
That's true. But nowhere in the city is going to be safe.
You'll have to find somewhere that no one would even think of looking for him.
It'd take a miracle to conceal two conkers, and the patrician has outlawed miracles.
That's my price. If you hide two conkers, I'll sign you into the guild. You'll never get in there without me.
I'll do what I can. That's all I can do.
That's all I ask.
If I find somewhere to hide him, you'll take me to the crates?
I'll get you into the guild, but you're on your own after that. That's my offer. Take it or leave it.
I'll take it.
Now, use general chat to ask about archaeology in Zorta.
Does he know about us?
Two conkers? No, I never told him.
Why not?
He's my husband.
You're married?
I always was, even when I met you.
Why didn't you tell me?
It's not as simple as that. I met two conkers in Ikalpon. He was on a secret dig for the Sun Emperor, and we fell in love.
I thought the Agateans weren't supposed to know about the outside world.
That's true, but the outside world isn't supposed to know about the Agatean Empire either. Trouble is, centuries ago, their empire spread beyond the counterweight continent, and there's archaeological evidence for the strange and charmed Quack dynasties all along the Turnwise Ocean coast. The Sun Emperor sent two conkers out to cover up the evidence.
This doesn't explain why you didn't tell me you were married when we met.
Two conkers went back to the Agatean Empire, and I stayed behind. He wasn't sure I'd be safe there as an outsider. I didn't think I'd ever see him again. He might as well have died. I almost died too, until I met you.
Great. I was your number 2 husband.
You don't understand, Luton. I didn't love two conkers. I mean, I was infatuated with him, and he needed me. I was nothing before I met him. He gave me a purpose. He gave me a life.
Oh, that's good. Because he took mine. At least his accounts will balance. He came back, didn't he? That's why you left me.
Yes. I got a letter from him saying that the government had been overthrown, and the Empire was a new world. I wanted to tell you, but I didn't think you'd understand.
At least you got that right. So, you're Mrs. Ilsa Conkers.
No, I kept my maiden name. Our marriage was supposed to be a secret.
Talk about archaeology.
So you've been traveling with two conkers for quite a while now.
Yes, we've been making our way around the Circle Sea. There have been several digs.
And everything you find goes back to the Agatean Empire.
No, not now. There's no point. Most of it comes here to Ankh-Morpork. We give it to the Guild of Archaeologists, Antiquarians, and Tomb Evacuators. They have quite a collection of artifacts.
That's it? You spend your life digging up junk that no one ever sees?
We're looking for something. Something two conkers wants to take back to the Agatean Empire.
What is it?
A jewel.
Jewel. Find the jewel, yes?
Tell me about this jewel.
Gold-plated jewel. Very old.
I thought the Agatean Empire had plenty of gold.
Special artifact. Gold to be making it come from Agatean Empire. Stolen by one of your gods. Great fortune to Empire if it can be returned to us.
How will you know if you found it?
Gold-plated jewel not common. This jewel be having inscription. Unquam paratas.
It means forever ready.
You don't even know if this jewel actually exists, do you?
We've just come from a dig in Sorta. It's a village near the ruins of the ancient city of Sort. We found inscriptions there of many artifacts, including this jewel. It exists, all right. We just haven't been able to find it.
Interesting. Ask about Zorta next, yes.
If all these inscriptions were in Sorta, what are you doing here in Ankh-Morpork?
That's just it. The inscriptions claim that the jewel is here in Ankh-Morpork. Apparently, after the fall of Sort, The jewel was held by monks in the village of Sota, but over 4 centuries, the Knights of the Order of the Sacred Tulip went out on quests to find it.
Why?
They were knights. They went on foolish quests all the time.
Good point.
It was a knight thing. I think all the different
It's a
orders
tulip.
competed to outdo each other in foolishness. I heard the Knights of the Fairly Pink Triangle spent 2 centuries looking for a better name.
And you think one of the knights found it?
Apparently, the inscription said he took it to Ankh-Morpork, there to guard it forever.
Forever?
You know these ancient inscriptions. They have a tendency to exaggerate everything. It probably meant nearly forever.
Alright, we're done here.
I'll be back.
We're not going anywhere.
And we should go to the rooftops of that meeting with Therma. So we can find Therma.
But we have to go and get Malachite first.
First, rooftops above Salus and Fedre, or we won't have any idea we need him. That's the one.
I decided to go on alone to meet with Therma, but when I reached the rooftops, she wasn't there. As I waited, I started to think about the situation. The more I did, the more I decided that I ought to go and get Malachite. Frankly, hooking him up with Therma was probably the only way to get him off my back. Maybe it'd help me get some answers out of Therma, too.
To Rodin's workshop. I'm glad Rodin's just gone from the game now.
Oh, I think he comes back a bit later on.
Ah. Anyway, talk to Malachite.
Well, I'm back.
Talk to him about meeting with Therma. I'm sure if we ask him about the gold-plated jewel, he'll just say find Therma. So, meeting with Therma.
Try it.
Alright. Gold-plated jewel.
The jewel wasn't the kind of thing I
Oh.
wanted to discuss with just anyone.
Okay, fair enough.
I didn't want to discuss the golden... This was clearly something that was worth keeping quiet about.
Okay.
Do you know anything about the counterweight killings?
Find Therma.
Yeah, that's what I expected. So, meeting with Therma.
Yeah.
We've almost
I took them.
we've almost solved this entire case.
Oh, I wonder if he knows Jasper Hall.
Do you know a troll by the name of Jasper Horst? Malachite was as talkative as a corpse, and only slightly more attractive.
Find Therma? No, not even find Therma. Just he's too
The
stupid.
silence.
Meeting
It's not been easy, but I've arranged a meeting with Therma.
Take me there. Take me to Therma.
In a moment. First, there's a couple of things we need to discuss.
Take me to Therma. Take me now.
Okay. Let's go. The rooftops above Salis and Fedra were quiet. No one had a reason to be up here. I was looking forward to meeting the mysterious Therma, and I was hoping I might get some answers out of her. Unfortunately, the last thing I remembered was looking up at the moon.
We kept
The next thing I
being the
knew,
victim
I was
of
being
violence.
arrested by the Watch. They told me Malachite was as dead as 2 sides of bacon, and I was the prime suspect. His back had been chipped away like he'd said something particularly insulting to a disgruntled quarry workman, and they seemed to think my crowbar was the murder weapon. I had the opportunity and a possible murder weapon. All they were missing was motive. And anyone who had ever tried to get an intelligent comment out of the troll had a motive to kill him. It looked like I'd been stitched up as nicely as a fine genuine tapestry. They took me to Pseudopolis Yard to be interrogated. They had a salamander lamp shining in my eyes, so I couldn't see what was going on, but I could hear Nobby and a troll talking in the darkness. It was probably Detritus, the first troll to join the Watch. Detritus was the troll many people in Ankh-Morpork thought of when they heard the word troll, bringing back as it does vague memories of sudden concussion and extreme pain. Sometimes you'd hear 2 short planks being described as thick as detritus. Your ideal street cop, in fact.
So I'm a good cop.
No, I'm the good cop. You're the bad cop.
Then
Why don't I get to prod him a bit with my fists?
Because we're supposed to get information out of him, and it's hard to understand people talking through a mouthful of loose teeth.
I can smash lightly, more like a gentle caress, right?
No punching.
I can kick using minimal acceptable force. Like Mr. Vimes says, lots of it.
No punching, no kicking. We just talk to him.
Talk?
Right, well, I'll talk. You shout.
All right, you done it. Own up now, we know it was you.
No, not yet.
Oh, all right.
I've just got to start the audiograph.
Right. All right, you done it now. You got to sing like one of them flappy twittery things.
Wait! I've got to start the recording properly, otherwise it doesn't count. Right. Interviewing suspect Luton. Present, Corporal Nobbs and Sergeant Detritus.
Now?
Now.
All right, you done it. You might as well make it easy on yourself. Everyone know it was you.
This is my interrogation, is it?
Don't you change the subject, you miserable excuse for our horse's donkey.
A horse's
Just tell
donkey.
us what happened, Luton.
Here are the facts. Fact. Mundy was killed. You found at the murder scene.
I was unconscious.
How you knowing you was unconscious if you was unconscious, eh? Foiled you with logic.
What?
Now you listen to me good, and then we see who wears the long two-legged garments. Fact. Escape thingy, Mount Malachite.
Thingy? You mean troll?
Nah, not escaped troll. Escaped,
Feline.
Escaped feline?
Yeah, he escaped from a holding cell.
Is it possible the word we're looking for here is felon?
That's the one.
What did he do?
Hey, we asked the questions, you miserable arugaraha. You know what arugaraha mean?
Do
He
you?
knocked over the Van Uberwald mansion.
I never knocked over the von Uberwald mansion.
Now, that's what Malachite did.
So what does arugraha mean?
In the precise moment that dog droppings turn white.
I think you'd better get back to being the bad cop.
I am the good cop.
Now, I'm the good
Oh,
cop.
good lord.
So that made me...
The
Makes you-
bad cop.
Yes, exactly.
so how come I not get to hit you then?
We can't beat him up, Detritus. That'd be police brutality.
It only brutality if you leave marks. What show? Escape thingy, Mount Malachite. Was killed. And you was found at the murder scene there too.
Once again, I was unconscious.
Oh, how convenient for you. 2 murders and 2 unconsciousnesses. What about the murder weapon, eh? What about the crowbar?
I'm an adventure game
Tell us where you
protagonist.
got the crowbar, and I'll give you a smoke.
One of your dog ends? No, thanks.
I'll get you coffee. Maybe some cherry cake. New suit. You get to choose the color.
You're offering a lot of stuff.
I think you're taking this good cop role too seriously.
Thank you. Now my turn. You want to fall down the steps to the cell without leaving your chair? It's fine by me.
Protest innocence.
I'm not guilty, and I refuse to feed your suspicions and paranoia by consenting to this charade.
I thought charades were a game. Like chase my neighbor up the passage.
No,
People are
you need a
idiots.
pack of cards for Chase My Neighbor Up the Passage.
Not where I come from.
We're trying to do you a favor. We could give you to the Lawyers Guild.
You don't want that, Luton. They'd eat you alive.
Oh, no,
You
no,
don't have
no.
anywhere near enough money to be innocent.
Haven't you got better things to do than harass me?
No.
We harass you 'cause you is guilty. We knows you done it.
That's enough, Detritus.
Sir,
You can go.
I did it right?
Let's say you were everything I expected. Now go and write up the report. Not in crayon this time, please.
That should keep him busy for a few days.
He may be slow, but he's not an untrustworthy killer like you.
Why the personal interest in this case, Vimes? I'm sure you've got more important things to do now you're commander of the watch.
My reasons are my own.
You're not interested in my guilt or innocence. You're just out to nail me.
Frankly, Luton, I've got all the evidence of your guilt I need, and if I get my way, they'll lock you up and melt down the key for scrap iron. You're a bad cop, and I don't have any time for you.
If you're so convinced of my guilt, why the interrogation?
Nobby has this deranged idea that there might be some extenuating circumstances that we ought to find out about.
It'd make everything a lot easier if you'd confess, Luton. I'm sure you had a good reason to do what you did. Let us help you. Cigarette? Holiday for two in Quirm, sea-facing room, we pay the minibar bill.
I'm not guilty, and I'm not confessing to a crime I didn't commit.
Listen to me, Luton. We're conducting this interrogation because I believe in upholding the law.
There is no law in Ankh-Morpork.
True enough, but there's my law, and there's the patrician's law. Which would you rather face?
That's a fair
What's
point.
the difference?
Lord Veterinary considers it a happy state of affairs if the punishment can involve the actual perpetrator, but sees it as by no means essential. I consider it to be absolutely essential.
But you've already decided that I'm guilty.
That doesn't mean I've proved it.
And if I prove my innocence?
That's not going to happen.
Then what's the point of this farce?
Smoke?
No.
The thing is, Luton, we just want to find out what happened.
Do one decent thing in your life, Luton. Help us close this case.
Why should I?
So we can close this sorry little act and concentrate on the threat to the city.
The threat.
The counterweight killings.
I'll mention the alternative suspects. Well, pick anything until Give Up shows up.
Surely you have other suspects for the murders I'm accused of, even if you don't think they're part of the counterweight killings.
Smoke? A set of the complete plays of Hwel the Dwarf bound in nearly real leather?
No, I don't want a smoke. I want to know who the other suspects are.
At the moment, you're top of our list.
Although you are the bottom of our list, too.
I am the list, aren't I?
Sorry.
Don't apologize, Nobby. Listen, Luton. There are other suspects for the counterweight killings, and we're investigating those. But for Mundy and the Troll, you're the bottom line.
Suggest Al-Khali.
What about Al-Khali,
Al-Khali?
one of Horst's cronies? I think he's been following me.
I guess I could interview him.
Why do I have a feeling that you won't?
Face it, Luton. You killed Mundy. You killed Malachite. And you tried to make it look like it was part of the counterweight killings.
Serial killer.
Doesn't it make more sense that both Mundy and Malachite were killed by this so-called counterweight killer?
That's what you'd like us to believe, isn't it? You make the murders look like the counterweight killings and hope to get away with it.
That's it, isn't it? You're not interested in me. You want to catch the counterweight killer.
You're just a low-life killer, Luton. My job is to protect citizens from people like you.
What? You don't even like them much. You think they're all criminals.
Maybe. But murder leaves the place too messy.
Look, Luton, we don't think you're involved with the counterweight killings. But we have to know which ones are which if we're going to stop him from killing again. This is your chance to be a hero. To help us to catch a foreign assassin.
A hero? There's nothing I can do to save myself. Why should I care about the rest of the city?
You were a good man once, Luton. This could be your one shot at redemption.
I was never that good a shot.
You ought to know, Luton, that you're a suspect in the counterweight killings. That crowbar of yours was palace property, which means you had access to at least one of the murder sites.
You're getting desperate, aren't you?
We're wasting our time with you.
What about Regan?
What about Reagan?
The dead dwarf? What about him?
Another murder in suspicious, almost ritualistic circumstances. He's a nobody, but it has all the hallmarks of a counterweight killing.
Are you confessing to the murder of Reagan?
No. I'm just saying that Mundy and Malachite aren't the only nobodies to get bumped off in mysterious circumstances.
There was nothing mysterious about Reagan's death.
People don't just drive carriages off a bridge for no reason.
He was driving recklessly across the city. It's probably just a suicide. Maybe he was just drunk.
What about the bite marks?
Bite marks?
There weren't any bite marks. I looked.
Reagan was murdered. I'm sure of it.
You've got bigger problems than that right now, Luton. I suggest you concentrate on them.
Give up.
Nothing I say is going to convince you of my innocence, is it?
It doesn't look that way.
All right. Yes, I was in Mundy's room when he was killed, but I was unconscious. And yes, I was on the rooftops when Malachite was killed. Again, I was unconscious. I don't know what happened, but somebody knocked me out, and whoever they are, they're the one you should be looking for.
Fine. If that's the way you want it, that's the way you'll get it. Give my regards to Lord Veterinary when your trial comes up. I doubt he'll be as patient with you as I have. The fact is, mister, that with you behind bars, the city will be a slightly better place.
They delivered me into the hands of the palace guards, who delivered me into the walls of a holding cell. I had a bad feeling about the way things were going. Mostly people who were sent to the patrician for trial got seen right away. Rumor had it that being put in a holding cell pending trial was like being filed away in a drawer marked forgotten. And not a very big drawer at that.
If you look at the wall from the right.
The wall to the cell had a nice dank feel to it. I expect it was Cell Wall of the Month in Home and Dungeon.
Well, what you gotta do is
I
wait.
could find nothing out of the ordinary about the wall.
You gotta wait for a rat to show up.
Ah.
The door to the
And they'll
cell
show you
was
where
so
there's a crack in the wall.
stereotypical I half expected to look around and find a bearded old man, manacled to the wall.
Like in Aladdin.
I pounded on the door, but no one seemed to care.
Okay, dogs. Come on, then.
Oh, there's a rat.
I see the rat.
Fast little fellow, he disappeared the moment I started moving.
Look where he was, where he left. Be a crack.
I think it's in this side, because there's a hole in the wall there. That...
Well, then don't interact with the rat next time, please, and we might actually be able to progress.
I'll move across this way. Oh, there he is.
Maybe don't walk, don't move, just wait for the rat to do its thing, okay?
Yeah.
It's not especially exciting, but... There we are. Now we can look at the examine.
The rat had disappeared in a small crack in the wall. The question was, where had he gone?
Examine the crack.
As I worked my fingers around the crack, it became clear that the crack was the side of a loose slab.
Congratulations, Luton. We're a fugitive now.
The other side of the wall was another cell, but nothing like the holding cell. This was full of sketches and models, tools and materials. It looked more like a workshop, and there was someone working in it.
Would you like a cup of tea?
No, thanks.
Are you sure? Or are they not drinking tea outside anymore?
Outside?
The city. I take it you're from the city. How is it? Same as ever, I suppose.
You're Leonard de Quirm.
Yes, I am.
I'd found Leonard de Quirm. The man was
Okay.
almost a legend. There was no disputing that Leonard was a technological genius. But this meant he was as dangerous to the precarious stability of Ankh-Morpork as a compulsive smoker in a firework factory. Rumor had it that the patrician had locked him in a nice airy cell for everyone's safety, because Leonard was the kind of guy who'd light any fuse for the innocent pleasure of seeing what kind of bang he could make. The only other thing I could recall was that although the guy was hot stuff with the nuts and bolts, He was definitely at the bottom of the class when it came to thinking up names. The patrician keeps you imprisoned here,
Sorry?
You're working for the patrician?
Not really. He calls from time to time and has a look at some of my sketches. Nice man. He keeps me abreast of events on the outside.
What's that you're working on?
This is my flapping wing flying device. I built a small prototype out of gutta percha strips, twisted tightly together, and it worked. Although not very well. Now I'm building a full-scale model.
Does it fly?
Not yet. But once I've solved the problem of the weight of the holding it together frame and the mechanical faults with the spinning blades radiating from the central hub, it should do. I was having trouble getting enough force to twist the blades together, but the troll the other week sorted that out for me.
Troll?
Yes. He was staying in your room before you. He made this window for me so I could watch the bird. Always good for inspiration are the birds. Not that I don't have enough inspiration as it is. Damn things. Just once I'd like to wake up without finding my sheets covered in sketches of novel designs for apple peelers.
Did you give the troll some metal strips by any chance?
Yes. He made them into a metal hook with prongs, I believe. Not one of my designs.
His name was Malachite.
Was it? It's possible. I never was good with names.
Okay, maybe talk to him again? See if there's anything more.
Hello again, Leonard.
Yes. Hello?
What are you doing?
I'm deeply immersed in a mechanical problem.
Can I help?
It's not likely.
I kept waiting for him to say something else, but he was lost in his work.
You're gonna want to examine the gaping hole in the background. There we are.
The gaping hole had been created by Malachite to escape from the palace. Leonard liked to think of it as a window. At that moment, I thought I heard the sound of someone at the door to my cell. My heart leapt to my throat and narrowly missed my tonsils. I had to get back to my cell and fast.
Hello, Luton.
Hey,
Nobby,
how you doing?
what are you doing here?
I've come to let you go.
Does Vimes know you're here?
Yeah, he sent me.
What happened?
There's a witness to Malachite's murder. Saw the whole thing, although not very well. He couldn't identify the killer, but from the description we got from him, we can rule out you.
So,
Awesome.
I'm off the hook?
More or less.
Vimes must be livid.
I've seen him happier, but he's still convinced you're involved in this somehow.
I dare say he has a point, actually. But I'm not a cold-blooded killer, whatever he may think. Who was the witness?
A gargoyle up on the roof of the clerk's office on Salis Street.
What did he see?
I'm not supposed to discuss that with you. Come on, let's get you out of here.
You won't get any arguments from me.
Alright, we're going to the rooftops again.
Right, here's your stuff.
Ooh, right, we're getting our stuff back.
Where's the crowbar?
We're keeping that as evidence.
Yeah, right. I'll see you around, Nobby. Thanks for coming to get me out. I appreciate it.
That's what friends are for, isn't it?
Friends are for getting you out of a holding cell?
Could be. I ain't got that many.
You won't get any argument from me. See you later. I had this feeling that I was caught in the middle of something big, but I still hadn't a clue what it was. All I could do was keep searching and hope that sooner or later I'd stumble upon the truth. Well, maybe not stumble, just very carefully put my foot on it and hope the other end didn't come up and hit me in the teeth.
To the rooftops again.
Are we doing on time?
We're good on time so far. We're gonna want to talk to Gable.
They'd put a chalk outline where Malachite had fallen. It really drove home how big that troll was.
This is the dead
The
troll from the
gargoyle's
cover of the
name
game, by
was
the way.
Clark's Gable,
Ah,
and he had witnessed what had happened on the roof with me and Malachite. It was
Right.
probably the first exciting thing to happen to him in decades.
Say again. Is that?
what?
You said something when I picked on.
Oh, yeah, the Malachite must be the dead troll on the cover of the game.
Yeah.
Are you the gargoyle that witnessed the troll's murder? Clark's Gable?
That's right.
I don't suppose you could talk a little more clearly.
Thing is, I have a gutter in my mouth. Have you ever tried to speak with a gutter in your mouth?
Have I ever tried to hick with a what?
A gutter! A gutter in your mouth!
Oh, with a gutter in my mouth.
Yes!
Sorry, I guess I haven't given much thought to the orally challenged.
That's okay. We're none of us perfect.
I heard you saw the murder that took place here the other night.
Sure did.
Mind if I ask you some questions about it?
Be my guest.
Ask him about Malachite's murder. Could be in the notebook.
Can you tell me what you saw the other night?
When the troll was killed, eh?
Has anything else interesting happened recently?
Well, I got a pigeon yesterday. That's a rarity. Mostly they steer clear of the rooftops that are colonised by gargoyles.
Putting that to one side, what did you see the other night?
Well, I can only tell you what I told the watch. I saw you and the big troll come up the ladder, only once you were on the roof, it was hard to make out what was going on because of the shadows. But I saw the troll get savaged repeatedly by some kind of creature, some kind of beast.
A beast?
Yeah, that's the best description I can give you.
It's not much help, but thanks all the same.
What for?
For getting me out of jail.
No problem. Glad I could help. If you could toss the odd pigeon up here next time they're passing, I'd be grateful, yeah.
See what I can do. Anyway, where's the one place in Ankh-Morpork we don't want to go?
Tell me.
We're going to the Patrician's Palace.
Oh.
Oh, these two fuckers again. It's been a while.
I don't think you can get past.
No, we want to head right to a walkway. Examine the wall to see Leonard's cell.
What was I going to do? Scale the walls with my bare hands?
Examine.
The palace walls were useful for keeping intruders out and keeping the roof in place. Looking closely, I could see the other side of the hole in the wall that I'd seen from inside Leonard's cell.
Use your grappling hook on the cell. They didn't take it away for some reason.
It always looked much easier in the clickies.
Oh yeah, clickies. I remember the invention of those. We are a shockingly ugly man.
I think we are. Welcome to late 90s 3D graphics.
Yeah, other people don't look as bad as us. Though, well, Nabi does. Use your hiding place clue on the wall. Don't talk to Leonard, he's not useful.
Okay. I had a feeling, I knew we had to do something like this.
I'd learned that Ilsa...
No. Thank you. Excuse me. What's it going to be under, I wonder? No, not under that. try using this clue on the hole in the wall.
It's not the right clue, but
Useful
okay.
though they are, an exit is just an exit.
I don't seem to have.
Well, it's there. It was there before. Just keep scrolling. You'll find it. This is one thing I do not like about this game is this could be a lot better organized. Contents.
Oh shit.
Miscellaneous? Miscellaneous.
No, I checked it already.
We'll check it again.
There's something there.
Okay.
Ah!
Hiding place. There we go.
Useful though they are, an exit is just...
Oh shit.
Okay, use the hiding place on the wall outside then.
Yeah.
right under the patrician's nose. It was just crazy enough to work. The palace walls, looking close.
So if you want to keep going, we can head to the cafe on.
Yeah, we'll do this bit. I know we're not far away from the end of the act now.
There's still a bit to go. But... Oh, new crowbar.
I figured the golem wouldn't notice that the crowbar had gone missing. Not that I'm saying it didn't need it, just that I'd figured I'd get away with stealing it.
Talk to Ilsa.
I've done it. I've found somewhere to hide him.
Where?
Where no one would even think about looking. Somewhere that only the patrician and I know exists, I reckon.
The patrician and you? What if the patrician finds two conkers there?
Two conkers should be able to hide without too much difficulty. Besides, I have a feeling that if Lord Veterinary meets two conkers, he'll have a different take on this situation. He doesn't like to see useful people get killed. Besides, I am sure this is the only place in Ankh-Morpork that he'll be safe from Remora. Is it okay to move him?
He should be okay.
To be feeling much better in thankings. Sure he's not still delirious?
Sometimes I wonder.
Let's go. Hello again, Leonard.
Hello. I'm afraid I had to go back to the drawing tablet with the spinning blades radiating from central hub. It was too heavy. The device flew all right, but only in a downward trajectory.
That is looking like some kind of fluttering machinery.
Yes, I call it a flapping wing flying device, but it isn't working yet.
May I take a look?
Be my guest.
Are you to be considering the increasings of the wingtitude?
The span of the wings? I considered it, but the weight is still the problem.
What if you be using bombastic wood for the flame?
It hadn't occurred to me that two conkers would have any practical skills, but I guess you didn't carry out complex excavations without learning a thing or two about engineering. I left him to get to know Leonard and hooked up with Ilsa. She had a deal to keep. With two conkers safely hidden away, Ilsa kept her word. She took me straight to the guild and signed me in as her personal guest.
We're not going to talk to anybody right now. We're going to call it here.
Okay.
I've been Merrick D'Amato.
And I've been Classic Gamer.
And we'll see you next time for more Discworld Noir and probably the end of this act. Ciao. Did
Ciao.
they just play the Indiana Jones theme? They almost played the Indiana Jones theme. Awesome.
Possibly.
See you in the next one. Hi. Thanks for watching. This has been played, edited, and recorded by me, Merrick D'Amato.
And he's been helped by me, Classic Gamer.
You can find a link to Classic's YouTube channel, Classics Gamer, and his Twitch in the description below. Please like, comment, and subscribe.